Hello, and welcome to another episode of Sergeant Al's Traffic Ticket Blog. In the next series of episodes that we're going to be doing for you, we're now going to take you to the 2019 LA Auto Show at the LA Convention Center. Now, if you remember a few weeks prior, we went to the Orange County, California Auto Show, and that is generally a lead up to the LA Auto Show. The LA Auto Show is one of some of a dozen strategic auto shows that are held around the world. The New York Auto Show, Shanghai, there's the Tokyo Motor Show, there's also Paris. These are the strategic auto shows that are held around the world where, unlike the Orange County Auto Show, where the automakers make big announcements, they introduce new vehicles, and bring new products to market. This is also where overlapping industries such as AI technology, the autonomy aspect of this. They even had a government entity from Great Britain at the LA Auto Show that came this year. So it was a very interesting show this year, and we're going to show you a couple of other things. Some of the things are going to be coming up in this episode. We're going to take a look at Ford Motor Company's brand new all-electric full production vehicle, and that's the Mustang Mach-E. And you're going to take a look at it, and you're going to see why, in my opinion, they had to make their first electric vehicle a Ford branded product and not necessarily a Lincoln that they didn't do. And you'll see why. Another interesting thing that you'll see in this upcoming episode, or the next few episodes actually, is we're going to talk to Robert Bollinger. Robert Bollinger is the founder of Bollinger Motors, and he has a all-terrain heavy vehicle, electric vehicle, actually two of them, that he's about to bring to the market. Now, in this world of electromobility and startups, the benchmark of where you are as far as having the prospects of bringing a viable vehicle to market is if you actually are able to bring one. And the only one that has done this on their own is Tesla, okay? So now you have Rivian and you have this company, Bollinger Motors. They're just about neck and neck. They're about to introduce their vehicles onto the market. And I can't tell you, for the 2 or 3 of those companies that have electric vehicles that are either on the market or about to come out, and the ones that have failed, it is remarkable that they have come to this point. And we're going to talk very briefly to Robert Bollinger as to how that's coming about and what makes his vehicles different than Rivian's. Another thing that we're going to talk and see is how Toyota Motor Company is in this world of denial. We are now at the strategic point in the auto industry that if you do not have a full production vehicle on the market or about to come on the market, you are in serious trouble at this point. Now remember, let's go back and take a look very quickly at electromobility history. After the Dieselgate scandal, VW Group professed to go all electric. And in doing that, General Motors, their main competitor, decided to also go all electric. And just having those two companies profess to go all electric, what they have done is they have pushed the entire auto industry in the direction of now industry analysts and Wall Street are saying that in order to survive 21st century electromobility, a car company must have an electric car. There is no way that you can survive, and you can't make one or the other. You can cross-platform up to a certain extent, but to do mass production like Mustang E and Tesla Model 3 and Tesla Model S, you need to have a dedicated full production electric vehicle. And if you do not have the money and the resources to retool and do that conversion, or you do it and you make one big major mistake like we've seen with Jaguar Land Rover, that may spell toast for your brand. But as I've been pointing out, there are too many brands in the industry with petromobility as it is. With electromobility, it's like having 50 different manufacturers making different kinds of refrigerators that we don't need, that these electric cars really now are electronic appliances that are based out of our garage. So this is an idea of what's coming up in the next few episodes with the LA Auto Show. I hope that you enjoy it. There's some new products that I want you to take a look at. We're also going to take a look a little bit at the fuel cells and see what's going on in that area. I'm going to show you the new Mirai. I'm going to show you the new Honda Honda Insight, and I'm trying to get the names right, and a couple of other surprises too. This is all coming up on the next Sergeant Al's Traffic Ticket Blog. I'm at the Bollinger section now at the auto show here at the LA Auto Show 2019. And this is the first time after writing all of the articles that I have about the Bollinger B1 and B2 SUV and pickup truck that I finally had a hands-on experience and an opportunity to talk to Robert Bollinger himself about his new vehicle. One of the things that I've noticed about the Bollinger is that as soon as they came out with a price point of about $125,000, a lot of people balked and actually threatened to go and buy a Rivian. But after speaking to Robert and his people here, I get a better sense of what it is that they have to offer that makes them different than any other type of electric vehicle that's going to be coming soon on the market. And mind you also that Hummer also is going to be having an option that's going to be available when GM resurrects that brand as well. And then you have the new Tesla pickup truck that seems to be poised to fall into a price point and a size that's more about the F350 than the F150. So that too will be perfect in competition to these two vehicles. So this is what the B1 and B2 has to offer as far as stats. They're going to be about $125,000 manufacturer suggested retail, give or take. The B1 is the SUV. The B2 is the pickup truck. It will have 614 horsepower and about 668 pound-feet of torque. The battery pack is about 120 kilowatt. That's about the biggest battery pack that's available out there, and that's the one that they will be using to lay in between the bottom of the vehicle. And what is unique about this is that it will be able to have a ground clearance of about 15 inches, and it will actually wade through water up to where you see the front tailgate down. It'll be able to have water that come all the way up. Now, the battery pack is not waterproof, but it is water resistant, and will be able to go through that deep amount of water in order to wade through all terrain. The payload is about about 5,000 pounds, and the towing capacity is about 7,500 pounds, and it has approximately about 200 miles of range. The vehicles are essentially the same up into the rear seat, and back is where there is a substantive difference, obviously, between the flatbed and having a cargo area for an SUV. One of the things that I have noticed about the Bollinger vehicles is the fit and finish. You can tell by the heft and the weight and the design and the handles, and I'll show you in a minute, that this vehicle is bespoke, it is hand-built, it is hand-assembled. In many ways, it's about people who actually know how to assemble a car. They actually went to a materials store like the Home Depot, got all the materials that they needed, and then they built a handcrafted, hand-assembled vehicle by hand, and has the fit and finish that I can only describe to you is at its unique, and it truly is at its superbness. So this is the Bollinger vehicle, and I'm now going to show you some different angles and aspects of it as we go and take a look at it. All right, I'm back here with the SUV now. One of the unique features about the SUV that you have that's not on, obviously on the pickup truck, is that the panels on the roof and the sides are removable. On both vehicles, the doors also are removable. And you can see that, once again, the craftsmanship, all hand assembled. There is no plastic. This is a vehicle that seems to be very well put together. What you are looking at is probably one of the unique features that you're not going to see on too many electric sport utility vehicles, and that's a front lift gate. By having the advantage of not having an internal combustion engine in the front compartment and actually using it as a safety crash cage that Tesla also uses it, What you have here is a front lift gate that you can actually put lumber through the entire length of the vehicle. And if you also notice on the right-hand side facing on the driver's side, which would be his left side, are power ports that a user will be able to use to put accessories and tools in order to use them. Once again, reconstituted wood, genuine wood from Detroit, that's reconstituted and used for the vehicle. Everything is handcrafted and hand assembled. Very few plastic parts. You can tell with the craftsmanship that this is a hand assembled vehicle, and that is the selling feature of the Bollinger. That will be making big difference as opposed to any other vehicle that's made from a mass manufacturer like Ford or GM. One of the hallmarks of being a startup in the now emerging automotive electric car industry is getting a car to production. And so far, there's only one company that has done that, and that's Tesla. And there's another one that's about to do it. That's Rivian. And the one that I'm about to introduce is just right behind them or just right on par with them. And that's Bollinger Motors. And they too are about an all-electric truck that's about heavy terrain. And they're just about to bring it to market. And what I have here is the founder and the chief of Bollinger Motors, Robert Bollinger. Thank you.
Hey, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you too. I'm so glad we got this opportunity. So please tell us about your product, where it's at now, how long you have it.
Yeah. So we have the B1 and the B2 here on display at the LA Auto Show. The four-door versions, 120 kilowatt hour pack. Same DNA as the truck we debuted in 2017, the two-door.
Yes.
So hydropneumatic suspension, 15-inch ground clearance, off-road capable, Class 3 truck. It's the only all-electric Class 3 truck. It can hold 5,000 pounds. It'll self-level. Has the pass-through for 13-foot boards, 16-foot boards.
Both models are going to do this.
Yes.
Are you still going to have that two-door?
Oh, we're going to come back to the two-door.
Oh, okay.
The reason why we went to the four-door first is we needed the size for the battery pack.
Yes.
So both trucks are the same from the nose through the C-pillar, and they both share all the same components.
It's what's in the back that's the difference.
And then, and then we just put the back wheels back a little bit further and made it a pickup truck with an interesting mid-gate and some things I can show you.
Well, here it is. After all I've written about over the past year and told you about, this is the mantle by which Porsche, or VW Group actually, will try to take the electric car mantle from Tesla. This is the premier sports saloon, the Porsche Taycan. As I've written over the past year or so, about 2 years ago, I would say now, in an Austrian barn, they found a electric carriage, and with that carriage, they've determined that that was an electric car that was the first Porsche that was ever made back in 1897, I believe it was, and the first Porsche that was a racer. And this coming from a car company that's known for making performance gasoline engines, it discovered that the first Porsche that was ever made was all electric. And with that, it totally changed the company inside out in its culture to bring it to a place where it can now make an all-electric vehicle. And they do intend to make this the best electric car that is out in the market. They're going to use this vehicle to go head on with the Tesla Model S. The problem is that this car is about $150,000, and it fits quite nicely into the Porsche portfolio in price point and in styling. So the problem is trying to make a vehicle that's mass market or what have you. That's probably going to come further down the road when there is a variant that is a little bit cheaper than this model. But until then, this is what they have. And after this will come the Cross Turismo wagon. It'll be a wagon variant of this that is based on the Taycan. What I do know is this. This car is about a little bit tinier than a Panamera. It is a four-door saloon. It's a four-door sports saloon. It is mid-size. I would say it's maybe a little bit bigger than Tesla Model 3. You can certainly tell that the fit and finish is certainly all Porsche. What I also do know about this car is that it is purposely made that whatever Tesla is about, this car is the complete opposite. It has proper instrumentation. It has proper gauges. It has all the things that the other Porsche models have. So it will be very interesting to see where the direction of this car will take Porsche in its journey of electromobility and how it will compete with Tesla as we go along in our journey all together, all of us in electromobility, the Porsche Taycan.